Hello everybody, welcome to another podcast. It's me, myself, Mr. A.Bosh and Haymaker. We are talking about ghosts. Now ghosts, well, where do we start with ghosts, to be honest? I'm a big believer of ghosts.
just ghosts. I mean, I believe in them. Which probably makes this for quite a decent conversation, to be honest with you, because I don't actually know what your experiences are, and you don't know what my experiences are. And yeah, so I mean, what makes you believe in ghosts?
Well, what makes me believe in ghosts is that I've actually seen. Well, I've seen a ghost, 100%. It was definitely a ghost, and I've seen orbs. And I've seen, basically, right, I'll tell you this story, right. Basically, what happened was,
I just want to point out, right, straight away, and I'm just on something that you've just said to me. Yeah. I don't believe in orbs. I believe in ghosts. I don't believe in orbs. No. There's too many opportunities of them being dust particles or something along those lines coming across the screen. So, genuinely, I don't believe in orbs, but I do believe in ghosts. Oh, mate, I just interrupted you, but...
No, that's what, mate. No, that's good. Well, what it is that there was a time back in the day where I didn't believe in ghosts. I thought it was a load of a crock of shit snitch. Right? And like I said in the last podcast, I'm the sort of person, if I see it, I believe it, right? Oh my gosh, we've got another viewer again. Hello, viewer.
Welcome. Hello, viewer.
This is actually recorded live, just so you know. And basically what it is that... How can I put it? I wanted to state, my dad got this fucking memory foam mattress, right? And it is actually pretty decent. It was... Well, it's a memory foam. It's a memory foam mattress, isn't it? So it's going to be decent. And I was
it's got to be pretty good, yeah. As foam mattresses go, I'd say a memory foam mattress was pretty good, yeah. Go.
Yeah. So I said to my old man, he was staying downstairs at the time, and I said, "Look, mate, is it alright if I stay in your room tonight?" And he was like, "What? What are you talking about?" I was like, "Look, you got a memory foam. I've never tried it. I want to test it out." So basically, I've got into the bed and all that sort of stuff, and it was comfy as shiznitch, mate. It was lovely. I was snug as a bug in a rug. And
but in a memory foam mattress.
Yeah, you know when you get that feeling that something's watching you, like you know when that spider just comes out of nowhere, and it's like you just know it's there. You've not even seen it, you've not even clocked it, but subconsciously you know it's there, right? So I'm tossing and turning, thinking, what the fuck is that? So like I've turned over, opened my eyes, and there was this guy standing in my dad's doorway, right? And he had he looked like he was in the military or some sort of he was in the army or something like that. He was fully dressed in a uniform and all that, with his hat and all that sort of stuff.
You doing any research into him, or
no? Well,
just out of interest.
Well, not yet, but I'll get onto that in a minute. And I've seen it, I've clocked it, I've fucking shit myself. And the first thing I did was just throw a pillow at it. I was shitting myself, mate.
You threw a pillow at a ghost?
I threw a pillow. What the fuck else was I supposed to do? Fucking just run at it.
Scream? Anyway. Scream, hide?
I didn't scream when I think. What to do? I threw a pillow at it, hid under the covers. Perfect. So, it was just a perfect fucking opportunity for him to go, evening, you know what I mean, take the covers off me, evening, and fucking have his way with me. Yeah, or boo, whatever. And I've got my clothes on, so please, I'll be there, please don't be there, please don't be there. And I've looked up, and it disappeared. And as soon as it had gone, mate, I've out of that fucking bedroom, run downstairs, I was shitting myself. And I said to the old man, I was like, Dad, mate, I'm never staying in your room ever fucking again. No chance, mate. Like, generally no chance. He's like, why? I said, mate, I saw something in your room that was standing there staring at me. He looked at me and went, what? Are you alright? Was you dreaming?
Your dad had never ever seen this?
No, he'd never seen it, right? So I've said to him, Dad, mate, honestly, man, I've seen it. I see it was there. It fucking shit me up when I threw a pillow at it. And he laughed. I was like, thanks for your support, mate. Appreciate it.
What I just did with you, yeah.
Yeah, so going back before that happened, I was living in London at the time with my uncle and my auntie. And my auntie was like a witch. So she done all that sort of stuff. Trust me, that's a whole different sort of kettle of fish. That's a whole, different conversation. But she used to see ghosts, like she used to see them. And I'd be sitting there in the front room with her and my cousins and that. And she'd have these flashes as people in the house. And she saw the same guy standing next to me. Like standing just behind me. And I was thinking, what the fuck?
Did you see this? What is in the military person?
Yeah, the same person, the exactly same ghost, person. Okay. But this was way before I had that experience with him, with the ghost at my old man's. This was like years before. So I fucking shit myself. Right, I thought back to it. I was like, oh, that's actually, I don't know if that's a guardian angel or whatever, but. Yeah, that did freak me out a bit.
Did you ever look into that figure, that person, the history, who it might be?
I'm guessing it'll be my great granddad, which is my dad's side.
Ex-military?
Yeah, he's ex-military. Yeah, it might have been him.
See, mine wasn't my very first experience of it. I lived in a pub.
Yeah.
And
pub. You mean a pub?
I was in a pub. I lived in a pub. Get out of my pub. So I lived in a pub, right?
Yeah.
And we, not because my parents were alcoholics or anything, but because we ran the place. And so we lived upstairs, and it was in a little town called Woodville. Right. Actually drove past the pub about 12 weeks ago. Big old journey, and I had that same feeling when I was driving past it, because I thought, well, I'm coming around here, it'd be nice to see the old place, if you like. And yeah, basically we were having a bonfire, getting rid of some old rubbish. We used to have outhouses outside of this pub, if you like. And basically nighttime, bonfire, smoke's white, and me and this lad, Richard, his name was, and we must have been about, what, maybe, I'd say maybe 9, 10, and we stood there, kids fascinated with fire, it's nighttime, just whatever, and this black figure walked through the grey smoke, and it had a top hat on it. And I kid you not, this is God's honest truth, honestly. So it came out of the outhouse. So we've got this. I'll paint the scenario just so it's a little bit easier. So we've got this bonfire going on. We're in the car park of the pub that we had, and we're just getting rid of some rubbish and things like that. Anyway, and we stood there, literally just stood there looking at the fire, as you do. You're kind of obsessed with all things that you shouldn't be obsessed with when you were a kid. And all of a sudden, this black figure just walked through the grey smoke. And I, even to this day, I would swear to you that's what happened. Yeah. My mate Rich and I both basically looked at each other. He saw it, I know he saw it, because he ran off. He ran, and it must have been about 3-4 weeks before seeing him again. And that's God's honest truth, honestly. I ran straight inside the house, and well, I say in the house, it was in the pub, but I ran down to my mum. I was like, look, guess what I just seen? Went outside, and lo and behold, nothing there. And it turns out that the outhouses that were outside of our pub used to be stables. So there used to be stables for obviously horses. Yeah. And apparently this pub backdated quite a long time. I can't tell you for definite. I was 8, 9. I wasn't really interested. A black figure had just walked through grey smoke. So it took me weeks and weeks before I wanted to go and stand in the car park ever again. But in this pub, there was all sorts that happened, and I mean literally all sorts that happened. I was throwing darts. Again, I will swear on so many people. So I'm throwing darts. I'm a kid, you know. I can't throw darts. I'm trying to do javelin throws at them and all of that. So the darts are placed on the bar.
Yeah.
And I'm just throwing them. Just keep throwing them and throwing them, going back, pulling them up. You know, I'm barely hitting the board, but I'm hitting the board. Anyway, Mum had gone into the lounge of the pub, and she was obviously serving someone. So it was just me in the bar. Wasn't a very big or busy pub, as you can imagine. And basically, a dart came flying past me. And this is the God's honest truth. And anybody that is even listening to this is going to think I'm talking a load of rubbish, honestly. But a dart came flying past me, and it went into the board. I'm not going to say it hit bullseye. I can't even remember what. I'll kid you not. I promise you, honestly. I swear to you, a dart came flying past me, and it hit the board. Okay. I don't know what number it hit. I turned around. I was expecting my mum to be there, literally, just to be there, fucking about and trying to trick me or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, I kid you not, I promise you, that was two of my experiences in one thing. So if somebody ever asks me, do you believe in ghosts? Yeah, I definitely believe in ghosts. I mean, I've had a lot more sort of experiences, a lot when I was younger. Very little since I've matured. I don't know if that's something to do with you being subject to them.
Yeah. Babies are supposed to see ghosts as well, aren't they? Like, they're supposed to see sort of spirits or something like that. Like, you know,
and dogs, yeah, animals, apparently.
Well, yeah, my little boy, I'm sitting there, right, and I'm literally just looking at him. I'm just looking next to him. He looks to the left and he starts laughing. I'm like, what the fuck? What have I done? I'm just staring at you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I'm thinking, wait a minute. So I'm looking over my shoulder thinking, hang on a minute, am I going to see anything? You know,
yeah.
it's I think,
again, you know, it's very much one of those big believers, you know. If you've never seen, you'll never believe.
Exactly, that's what I was saying about my last podcast. I have to see it to believe it. Do you know what I mean? I really do.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely experienced that side of things, and you know, it's funny you should say about your little boy and laughing at shapes and figures and stuff like that, or whatever it is he's looking at. My little boy, I won't say his name for podcast.
No, just say your little boy. Just your little boy.
Yeah, so he literally, this is weird actually, you should say that. The other day, I put him to bed, and he started crying. He's six, you know, kids cry.
Yeah.
He started crying. I was like, what's wrong with you? He goes, come downstairs. Went back upstairs. And I was like, what's up with you? And he said, I'll say the name of the person. He says, I'm missing George. And I was like, George is basically, to give you a little bit of a history towards it, it's my other half's granddad.
Right, okay.
Now, George, I mean, he passed away when my other half was, I think, I want to say 10, maybe?
Yeah.
Well, my boy's 6. So my boy's never met George.
Right, okay.
So, I'm unsure how he turned around and said that he's missing somebody that he's never met. But yeah, that was what he said, and it didn't really sort of twig on me. I just said, oh, don't be silly, no. Stop being stupid. You've obviously heard of people talking about him. But, you know, it's actually now talking about it and what you've just said to me about your little boy, I didn't sort of put 2 and 2 together. I just assumed that he was just being a silly 6-year-old and or not believing, or believing in something, or maybe he did see something. I don't know. But do you watch any of these ghost hunter things?
Yeah, see, I've seen the ghost hunter things and all that, and to be honest, I think it's just a load of old poo, to be honest, because like what's that guy? What's that guy's name called? Derek Hall.
Oh, not that Derek Hall.
Oh, what a load of old cobble that is.
Drives me crazy.
Oh, mate, he does drive me insane and all. He sits and goes, "Yep, right, yeah. Is there a Steve here? Is there a Steve?" Mate, there's about 50 Steves here. What are you talking about? Yeah, Steve with blue eyes. A Steve with a nut. Shut up, mate, get off. Like, that's what I don't believe. I don't believe, like, what he's saying, because it's all a load of shit. You have to, I really do believe that, you know, you have to see things to believe it. And, like, there's been so many, like, ghost stories and evidence that goes to their videos online and that sort of stuff. It's easy to access. YouTube it, Google it. Honestly, there's so much out there. But, you know, the one that really did set me off and make me think, fucking hell, was a video where this woman was in this, it looked like a canteen, and
right.
You've got the CCTV camera in the corner of the room, and this woman was just sitting there, and I think she was doing some paperwork or something, I forget, and she's sitting on the canteen bench bit, I think it was, and all of a sudden the door, I think it was either the door slammed or something fell over, and she's gone, like, panicked. And all of a sudden, everything started moving. It's like paranormal activity, mate. It was like, what the actual fudge?
See, that scares the crap out of me. That scares the crap out of me.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's bullshit. I would run my fuck. I would run. I'd punch my way out of a wall.
I certainly. Yeah, I wouldn't want to. I mean, that kind of goes against what I said a minute ago about the dark side of things. But you know, I was young and I literally, I crap myself. But you know, looking back at that side of things, I'm obviously that must have been something, you know, quite malicious, or maybe just having fun, because it would never hurt any of us. But there's means and ways of having fun, let's say. But I mean, if something like that happened to me, I certainly wouldn't be working for that company anymore if I was in a canteen. Let's put it that way. Imagine sitting there eating your beans and all of a sudden something going.
Of all the things you could think, just beans. What the fuck? I don't know, mate. I'll have a plate of beans, please, love. Cheers, fake pals.
All right, mate. You got any beans? You know, the ones that bring ghosts.
Yeah, I'll have some magic beans.
I really would be. Yeah, cheers, magic beans. I mean, yeah. I'm sat there. I'm eating my beans, and the door slams, and I'm thinking, oh, it's the wind. Maybe it's me. I've just eaten beans, and then things start moving. I haven't seen this video, but I mean, from what you've just explained of it, I would absolutely. I'd leave my beans. I mean, that's quite a big thing for me. I'd leave them. I'd leave
them. Good for your heart, mate.
I like beans.
I make fun.
I like beans. I like cheesy beans, and I think, genuinely, you know, if that scenario, though, going back to the scenario, if that scenario happened to me, forget about the beans. Yeah. I would literally shit myself. I would be gone out of that room. There's no way in a million years you wouldn't be able to pay me to get back in that room if things like that started happening. I'd be like, nah. So it is £1 million. Yeah, keep it. I'm all right, thanks. Would you ever do a Ouija board?
No chance. No chance. No. Fuck that, mate. That is a whole new level of.
Who was it we were talking to the other day that said they'd done a Ouija board?
Wasn't it Craig?
Not sure. No. He'd done spoke to a medium like myself.
That's right. About something that was personal. We're going to.
It might have been Rich. It could have been Rich. Thinking about it, we did a Ouija board, but I mean that guy's got. There's no way in him. And let's put it this way: I wouldn't be doing a Ouija board in any way, shape, or form, for obvious reasons.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't. I wouldn't be doing that. No way. At the end of the day, it's a whole new level of fuck that. No. I will say though, there was one time I did try and get ghosts out.
Introducing demons and stuff, isn't it? And
yeah,
things along those lines. And yeah, I wouldn't want a demon in my house. It would scare her. Again, you know, I wouldn't be living in my house. Poor missus would be in here on her own. Kids, I'd be gone.
Yeah, see,
completely.
There was this one time, right? I've got to tell you this, man, because this is fucked up, right? Back in the day, you know, I'll tell you about the ghosts and that sort of stuff I saw in my dad's house, yeah. Well, I shit my mate up. You know, it was how old was I? I think I was about 14, 13, 14.
Right.
Anyway, cut a long story short, he stayed over, right? And we was talking about ghosts and all that. And it was in the summer, so I've got my fan on, right? And when he went out, I think when he toilet or something, I put the fan just by the curtains, so then the curtains started moving. Yeah. And
that's naughty,
mate. Listen to this though; it gets weirder. So I've come in. I said, right, what do you reckon? Should we try and get some ghosts out? Yeah. And he's gone, yeah, all right, fuck it. So I was saying, if there's any ghosts, please show yourself and that sort of shit, blah blah blah. And nothing, right? And then I just said it again in time with the fan hitting the curtain, but he didn't see the fan, right? So the curtain moved. Right, and I said, if there's any ghosts, show yourself now. And as soon as I said now, no word of a lie, mate. On my life, the door of the door was just slightly open, and this whole
this someone.
No, this light this light come out of nowhere and just shone in the bedroom. I kid you not, bro. I kid you not. Honest to God, mate. The lights were off and everything outside in the hallway, because we could see into the hallway. This light just shone in, right? And me and my mate were under the covers again. It's a bit weird about under the covers, isn't it? Yeah. And we're like, mate, I don't want to look. Mate, I don't want to look.
Under the covers with you, mate.
Yeah. And we're shitting ourselves like, no, fuck this. This is too scary, mate. This is too fucking scary. This is fucked up, right? And we're like, when I'm scared or something, I just laugh. I piss myself. I'm just like the sort of person. If I'm in danger, I'm about to get fucking shot, I laugh. I just can't help it. Just do what I do, right? And next thing you know, I said, you gonna look, mate? You gonna look? And he's like, you look. I said, right, we're both doing it on three. Right, so we both looked, and it was gone, right? So I was like, that was fucking weird, man. That was weird. And then he was like, no, I don't like this, man. I don't like this. Right, so we were shitting ourselves for about half hour. Stopped it and all that, and then the next evening, mate, this is where it gets fucked up. About orbs, yeah. So I've got my light on my camera. This is back in the Sony Ericsson days. You know, they're fucking was it Sony Ericsson?
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So I'm fucking video recording. I said, if there's any ghosts, blah blah, same old shit, fucking ritual shit. Show yourself, and I would have like this thing moved, and we heard a click noise. It was like a click, and I stopped recording. Right. We played the footage back, and we saw this orb come out of nowhere. And I paused it, and this orb was massive, mate. I'm telling you, it was massive. And
you see, it's just orbs just don't do, for me, and this is my opinion. and that's, there's so many things that orb could have been.
Yeah, it could have been a bit of dust or something like that.
It could have been a bit of dust. And that's
not if the dust was like fucking thick as cotton, floating in the air.
We're talking about your experience, but I mean, to play sort of devil's advocate, I would say that I believe what you're saying before. Until we get to when we're going on orbs, I just don't believe in orbs. I just don't. It's, to me, they can be disproved quite quickly.
Of course they can, yeah, of course.
But yeah, carry on, sorry.
Yeah, but no, that was basically it, mate. But there's so many things.
I ruined the end of your story.
Oh no, I had another experience. This was recent as well, mate. I'm sure I told you this. Anyway, I've got to tell it because it's a podcast, right? But I was laying on my sofa in my house, right, and I've just thought, fuck it, I'm gonna have a little bit of a snooze, like. So I started falling asleep, and it was really weird because the missus, she was in the kitchen, right, and I've woke up, and just before I woke up, I felt something kick my foot, like generally kick it. And I've woke up, like, sort of come to sort of thing. Right, it was definitely a kick. You know what, you're being kicked or you're being punched, or that feeling, yeah? And
right.
Basically what it was, I was laying down, I felt this kick, and I fucking shit myself, mate. I said to my missus, did you just kick me? Obviously she didn't, she's standing nowhere near me, right? So I was like, no, mate, this is dodge, this is absolute dodge. So, hello, second viewer. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're enjoying the podcast. Mate, it was fucked up, man. I'm telling you, it's absolutely crazy. You know, it's a crazy old thing. You don't know what to believe.
The most recent one. No, this is it. This is it. I mean, we moved recently. We moved from, me and the missus moved from a different house, as you know. We're in this house, and in that house, so many different things happened. But again, it was all harmless stuff. You know, there would be things that would fall randomly. As an example, remotes, and we got quite wide arms on the sofa, and you know, enough to be able to put couple of remotes on there without them falling or anything along those lines, and things like that used to just knock over the floor. You know, the amount of times I've been online with you, we've been playing Xbox, and you've heard me go, what the where's that? So nothing there. You know, and these things, but since we've been in this house, we've never had any sort of, well, touch words, I mean, we've only just been in this house, but any sort of experience. But I recall, and this the last big experience, I would say big experience that I had, was in the old house, and I told you about this actually a few weeks ago.
Yeah, go on.
It was a while ago. So again, trying to paint the scenario, me and the missus in bed, not up to no good, just trying to get some sleep, and as it goes, sort of a night before, 2 nights before this experience happened, my missus, I used to lay against the wall. So the bed was up against the wall, and I used to lay up against the wall. And the missus turned around to me one night. She went, "Can we swap sides? This is, you know, I've all more comfortable. I've pluffed up my pillows and everything.
You're proper comfortable. Move on, leave me alone.
Yeah, proper like, here we go. Come on. Just about to get my snore on like a walrus, as I do. And she sort of nudges me and goes, "Psst, wait. Can we swap sides?" I'm like, why? You know, sort of rubbing my eyes. Why? I'm comfy. What's up? It's like, can we swap sides? This is God's honest truth, honestly. And I know I'm sort of playing it down a little bit, but so anyway, we swapped sides. Morning after, I asked her, "Look, what was the deal? You know, why do you want to swap sides? I've been sleeping on this side for 6 months. Why all of a sudden we swapping sides?" And she turns around and says, it goes on to what you were saying a little bit earlier. Do you know when you feel like somebody's watching you?
Oh, mate, well,
she was laying in bed.
Yeah.
She was laying in bed. I didn't experience this someone's watching me. She did. I get goosebumps actually talking about it. And so anyway, she said, "Look, I had to swap sides. I felt like somebody was watching me, and I was feeling uneasy, you know, and I obviously didn't know what it was, and I wanted to swap sides because I felt safer at that side." I was like, okay, thanks for not telling me that night, and I got a good night's sleep. Anyway, a couple of nights later, literally lay in bed again, and this time, obviously, I've now swapped sides permanently, it seems. So I'm now on the outside of the bed, and she's up against the wall.
Wow.
And she's up against the wall, she's laid down, and I'm turned facing her, so I'm facing the wall, basically. And
then she starts trying to
all of a
break
sudden, no, yeah, you imagine that one, Jesus Christ. I'd be like, "Sorry, love, can I have my side back? You can have yours." Anyway, so all of a sudden, I'm sort of lay there, just kind of sleeping, and about to sleep anyway. And all of a sudden, I kid you not, and again, on my children's life, okay, there was basically something just sat on the end of the bed.
Fuck.
God's honest. Okay, now,
mate, I've got another story.
I promise
go on.
Right, so I am looking at the missus. Now, at this point, obviously, the missus has already swapped sides with me. I ain't saying anything to the missus. Something sat on the bed, okay? And you know when somebody sits on your bed and you can kind of feel their presence on the end of the bed? That was basically what happened. So I turned round. I put my arm around Hannah.
Yeah.
And I literally put my arm, it's really weird. I turned to face it. God knows why. Turn to face it anyway. I'm getting goosebumps as I talk about this now. Basically. It's all right, mate. You all right? You enjoying the show? You know, type of thing. But I turned round to sort of look at it, and there was nothing there. But I put my arm over Hannah, so around the back to try and protect her. And she was like, because I kind of, you know when something scares you and you go, like that. Well, I'm trying to play the big macho. I am.
Oh,
Something's
yeah,
up my bed, and I go,
don't worry.
yeah, exactly. So
Yeah.
it's all I love. So well, she didn't know. She didn't know. So I kind of went, and she went, "Are you all right?" I was like, "Yeah, just rolling over." I put my arm over her, and then
Tears streaming down your face.
honestly, goes on his, yeah. I tell you, it was like Jesus Christ. It wasn't until the morning that I told her what had gone on.
Oh, mate, I bet she was shitting.
And then she was
herself,
like, "Oh, mate, honestly, let's put it this way. I wasn't allowed to face the missus anymore. I had to look at the door and make sure that nobody came in that room anymore. So, and that was my position then in that bedroom for at least, I would say, 3, 4, 5 weeks. Don't cuddle me. Look at the door.
That's crazy.
Honestly. But honestly, God's honest truth, I know I'm kind of playing it down a little bit, but you know, as I'm talking about that, I am getting goosebumps over it. It genuinely happened, and it scared the crap out of me. Let's put it that way. It really did. But what you were just saying about your experience then?
Mate, it literally is. It is seriously one of the most craziest experiences, man. I've literally put on this podcast already, but like 2 or 3 experiences I've had already. So the 2 people that are viewing this now and watching this now, listening to this now, go back, honestly, some decent stories. This last story I'm about to tell you literally scared the fucking shit out of me, mate. I genuinely thought it was some sort of demon, man. My life. So I'm living in Croydon at the time. I got my own place. You know, when I was living in Croydon.
Yeah.
Right? Excuse me. And I've gone to bed, right? And I'm just laying in bed, just sort of chilling out and all that sort of stuff. You know, when you sort of like dozing off and all that. I've got the TV on, quite quiet, you know, in the background.
Yeah.
And I think, right, everything's locked up, everything's cushy, no one's in here, all that. I'm pretty OCD with that. I have to check everything, make sure it's all done and everything. And what happened was I started to doze off, and I've woke up and I've seen this little girl at the end of my bed with black eyes, mate. Honestly, black eyes, bro. Mate, it literally, it shit me up, right? And mate, I can't get the image out of my head, man. It scared me so much, man. That was one of the reasons I had to move out of there. Like, it was that house was definitely haunted, 100%. It just looked at me, right, and I was like, fuck this. And I don't know.
The fact that you seen a little girl in your
but
bedroom,
it was black. Honestly,
anyway.
Black hair, black eyes, white. It was literally like you would see.
Grudge. Is it the Grudge? No, the Grudge.
The Grudge, yeah. Like you would see in a movie. Mate. It was something like that. My life. I looked at it. I was like, nah, mate. I'm not living here anymore. And that was off. This was like a good 10 years ago. 20. How old am I? 21. 10. Yeah, about 10 years ago.
How old are you? What are you asking me for? I don't know. I weren't.
You're talking about, you know, how old I am now.
When you were born. Yeah, but I weren't there when you were born. So
you never know.
Well, true. That's a different story for a different podcast. So, I mean, I tell you what I'd like to hear though. In honesty, I mean, these are just some of our experiences, but for those non-believers and things like that, I know we're kind of playing it down a little bit, playing the macho. You know, these things have happened. I can tell you indefinitely have happened. I can even name the pub. Or pub, if
pub,
you guys want to know.
Not pub.
All right, pub. So the pub was in a place.
Just say the pub.
Was in a place.
It doesn't sound right on you. That pub
called Woodville.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, in sort of Derbyshire, and it was called the Granville Arms. I've tried to do some research on the place since sort of growing up, and never really succeeded in finding anything about it. But
there are literally so many haunted places in England, aren't there? There are so many haunted places. Like one in a place called Pluckley, mate. That's supposed to be scary to shit. Apparently they've got screaming woods. They've got the headless horseman that walks up and down the fucking street. You've got I think it's a young woman looking for something as she's crossing the road. And that is supposed to be proper haunted, mate. And to be honest, I'm shitting myself.
There's a place nearby me, and I'm not advertising it, you know, but I'd like to go there. You know, I know I've talked about these sort of experiences, but I'm quite intrigued to see for myself, you know, because I guess if I don't know, maybe I'm subject to seeing them, I don't know, or being involved in activity. But there's a place near me, and they do like a haunted night. I'm a little bit dubious on those places, you know. Don't want to pay for somewhere that claims that it's haunted, or do I prefer my real life experiences, you know, because these things could be made up slightly, you know. It's not going to take a lot of work, you know, especially if you're advertising this place and charging people money to go in the night and do their own paranormal experience or something. But
it's,
you know, these places are quite easily to be rigged up, aren't they? I guess so. I'm a little bit skeptical on places like that, but I might give it a go and do a podcast on it and let you know about my experiences there, and then tell you all about it and what the place is called at that stage. But it would be interesting. I'd love to hear other people's sort of experiences as well, or even just genuinely, so if you don't believe, and why you don't believe, because you know, is it unfortunate or fortunate not to have that experience? I guess it's I count it as a blessing, you know. I've seen these things, and it makes it a little bit more real for me.
Oh, it's real. What do you call real?
Yeah, exactly.
But I would definitely recommend to anyone not to do Ouija board. Don't do a Ouija board. Yeah. Whoever watches this and all that, don't do it, man. Seriously, it's fucking scary.
If you have done a Ouija board, though, I would like to. I'd like to hear about your experience.
Yeah, I would. Not
sort of thing.
Are you mad?
He wouldn't. He'll be hiding under the bed sheets with his 14-year-old mate.
I was 14 at the time. Just saying.
With a boy under a bed sheet. Just saying.
I was unsure of my sexuality. All right.
So you created an environment. I like it. Anyway, yeah. So that's me done with my stories, and
but
I don't know about you.
Mate, my stories from the very start of this podcast to the very end right now, there's been a good, decent amount of, you know, stories that we've given you guys. If you do want to find out any more about ghosts or spirits, that is another subject, right? Do you know what? Just a quick one. Spirits. Do you believe in that? You know, when you're sitting there and you get that cold feeling like someone's walked over your grave. Do you believe that's a spirit?
Oh my god, yeah.
That is a spirit. Isn't it? That has got to be, bruv. That has got to be a spirit, because you're sitting there and you're just like, I mean, it's like 34 outside and you're standing there and all of a sudden you start shivering. Come on, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's naughty.
Does everybody get? I definitely believe in spirits. You know, I think it's all the same sort of thing to me. The only thing that makes it different would be sort of demons, which is a complete different conversation.
Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Yeah, definitely. But do you get goosebumps when you talk about these things? You know, when you talk about your own experiences. Like, for example, I was talking about it earlier.
Yeah. I think what it is I don't get goosebumps. I think knowing that you know, if someone's there looking down on you and looking out for you in the afterlife and all that sort of stuff, is quite a blessing. So I don't get goosebumps over it. When I start to think about and talk about things that are, you know, bad spirits and all that sort of stuff, that's when I don't want to talk about it, because, you know, I don't want to invite that in. You know, I'm a big believer of God. You know, and you know, it's, I try to keep my way from that. You know.
And my experiences, goosebumps is probably all the hairs on the back of my neck and on my arm. You know, only on my experience. It's not really yours. I know that sounds weird, but it tend to just stick up. And it's quite a weird, like a chilly sensation. I don't know if that's something that's common to everybody else, or it's not common to you. So. But it is to me. So,
well, the people that are, you know, listen to this podcast, let us know. You know, whack us some comments down in the comments below. You know, subscribe as well to our new channel. It's in development at the moment, but it will be looking absolutely sweet. Please follow us on this journey, because it's going to take off. I put money on it. you know, and please leave us some comments. You know, let us know what your experiences are with ghosts, spirits. You know, if there's any ghost facts, you know, where it says on the picture there you're looking at, you know, let us know. You know, we really do want to know. We want to know. We actually want to do research on that as well. We want to do research.
I do want to sleep.
Oh, me too. Yeah, it's now 2:42 in the morning in the UK time. But thank you very much, you two viewers, and for anyone else who's watched, listened to this podcast. I really appreciate it. I've been A.Bosh. This has been my Mr. Are you going to say name?
Maker.
There you go. There you go. And yeah, have a lovely
slightly
day.
Awkward.
Good weekend, yeah. And God bless.
Take care. Bye bye.